Let me tell you about a Tuesday in February 2019. Maria Rodriguez stands in line in Caracas. She's been waiting 4 hours for bread. A teacher with a master's degree. She now makes $6 per month. 10 years earlier, Venezuela had the highest GDP growth. Their leader promised economic miracles. Here's what keeps me up at night. I've been tracking patterns. Economic policies that look like prosperity but function as power grabs. And some of those patterns started appearing in the United States in 2017. I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm here to show you what I found. Let me introduce you to 3 countries. 3 very different cultures. But their leaders follow the same economic playbook. Venezuela, 1999. Hugo Chavez takes office. Within 6 months, he slashes corporate taxes, floods the economy with government spending. The stock market soars. GDP grows 6%. Headlines scream, economic boom. Turkey, 2003. Recep Erdogan becomes prime minister. First year, massive tax cuts for businesses. Construction boom. Everyone's buying houses. The economy grows 9%. International investors call him the reformer. Hungary, 2010. Viktor Orban wins election. Immediately introduces a flat tax. Cuts corporate rates from 19% to 10%. Business groups love it. Foreign investment pours in. 3 countries, same first move. And it works for about 5 to 7 years. Then the debt comes due. December 22nd, 2017, Washington, D.C. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act becomes law. Largest tax overhaul in 30 years. Corporate tax rate, 35% to 21%. Projected debt increase over 10 years, $1.9 trillion. Supporters said it would pay for itself. The Congressional Budget Office said, no, it won't. They were right. By 2019, federal revenue dropped $430 billion below projections. Who benefited most? 84% of the benefits went to the top 1%. Stock buybacks in 2018 hit a record $806 billion. Companies buying their own shares instead of raising wages. S&P 500 plus 52%. Median income plus 6.8%. This is the Cantillon effect. Those closest to the money printer benefit first. Everyone else just gets inflation later. But that's just step 1. May 24th, 2018. Senate Chamber. Economic Growth Regulatory Relief Act passes. Boring name. Critical function. It weakened Dodd-Frank. Regulations were put in place after 2008 to prevent another crisis. Banks with under $250 billion in assets, no longer systemically important. They can take bigger risks with less oversight. Remember that number, $250 billion. We'll come back to it. Who wrote this bill? Financial sector. $2.8 billion in lobbying, 2010 to 2018. In 2018 alone, $483 million. JP Morgan Chase, $8.4 million. Bank of America, $7.1 million. Citigroup, $6.7 million. Who did they hire? Meet the revolving door. May 7th, 2017. Jay Clayton confirmed as SEC chairman. Previous job? Partner at Sullivan & Cromwell. His biggest client? Goldman Sachs. Now he regulates Goldman Sachs. This isn't unique. Steven Mnuchin, Treasury Secretary, former Goldman Sachs partner. Gary Cohn, economic advisor, former Goldman Sachs president. This is called regulatory capture. 2017 to 2021, 34% of senior officials came from industries they now regulate. Obama admin, 12%. Bush admin, 18%. What happened next? March 10th, 2023. Silicon Valley Bank collapses. 16th largest bank in America, $209 billion in assets. Remember $250 billion? This bank fell just under that threshold, which meant less oversight. Second largest bank failure in U.S. history. The deregulation of 2018 enabled the collapse of 2023. This is the pattern. Cut taxes, increase debt, weaken oversight, crisis. But let's go back to Venezuela. Remember the economic boom of 1999? By 2005, debt had tripled. By 2010, inflation hit 28%. By 2017, hyperinflation, 2,616%. ATMs limited to $5 per day. But here's what you need to understand. The economic collapse wasn't the end goal. It was the catalyst. As the economy fell apart, Maduro's government gained power. 2017, he dissolved the National Assembly, stripped the courts of independence, arrested opposition leaders. Economic crisis justifies extreme political measures. Turkey followed the same path. 2018, currency crisis hits. Erdogan fires the central bank governor, takes direct control of monetary policy, jails journalists critical of economic policy. By 2023, Turkey ranks 165th out of 180 in press freedom. Hungary, same pattern. 2010, economic reforms and growth. 2012, Orban rewrites the constitution. 2014, takes control of courts. 2018, controls 90% of media. The EU now considers Hungary no longer a full democracy. The dominoes. 1. Economic boom, tax cuts plus debt. 2. Weaken oversight, regulatory capture. 3. Economic crisis, inevitable correction. 4. Attack institutions, courts, press, banks. 5. Consolidate power in the chaos. So, where is the United States? 2017, tax cuts, check. 2018, weaken regulations, check. 2023, bank crisis, check. Steps 4 and 5, 2024 campaign, proposals to fire civil servants, threats to use the DOJ against critics, plans to purge military leadership, stated intention to be dictator on day 1. I'm not predicting the future. I'm showing you the pattern. And in 2017 to 2025, the United States started following it. Let's recap what we found. Leaders who seek long-term power start with economic manipulation. They weaken the institutions meant to check them. They use the resulting crisis to justify extreme measures. Venezuela, Turkey, and Hungary all followed this exact sequence. And between 2017 to 2025, so did the United States. This isn't about left or right. This is about pattern recognition. I showed you the data. Check it yourself. All sources are in the description. Ask yourself, do these economic policies benefit the many or the few? Who profits when oversight disappears? What happens in steps 4 and 5? Because the economic crisis is just a domino 3. In episode 2, we track the next target, the institution that controls all money. What happens when presidents attack central bank independence? And why digital currency might be the ultimate control tool. Click to watch episode 2 now. Subscribe for episodes 2 and 3. Comment. What pattern concerns you most? Share this with someone who needs to see it. The stress test continues.